Hello and welcome back to the Filmverse show. Today we are going to be having some fantastic topics to talk about. We're going to talk about which films this year could be potentially billion-dollar films. What is going to join the billion-dollar club? We had a lot last year actually join the billion-dollar club. Some ones that I didn't expect to happen. You know, your boy said that Joker was a shitty idea and they shouldn't make a movie about it. Yet my best movie of the year, and it made $1 billion, so what the fuck do I know? What the fuck do I know? But we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about Star Wars, because there has been a confirmed leak that, well, I don't know if it's been officially confirmed or not, but it is being talked about when the next Star Wars films are going to take, what time period are they going to take place in the Star Wars universe. They're going to get in there. And we've got some reviews as well that we're going to get into. So let's get right into this big jam-packed show. Let's get into the first segment of the Filmverse show. Now, I want to start off by doing what movies are going to be joining the billion-dollar club. That's a big topic because we had so many last year, like the Joker, Endgame, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man. What else was there? There was a Toy Story, Lion King, Star Wars. Looks like it's going to cross the billion-dollar mark as well. There was so many. I think Frozen even made it. Maybe Frozen 2, I think, is going to make $1 billion as well. So Aladdin made $1 billion as well. Don't forget that. Aladdin made $1 billion as well. So there was a lot of movies, and Disney absolutely creamed everyone. They creamed everyone last year. But this year, taking a look at some of the films, I don't think we're going to have too many join the billion-dollar club this year. So I'm going to get in. I'm going to give you, these ones are my outside bets. These are the dark horses. These are the potential ones that could get the $1 billion, but I'm not expecting that they will. But there is a slight chance they may. So we're going to start off with Fast and Furious 9. Obviously, the Fast and Furious franchise is starting to make a lot of money. However, Fast 9 doesn't have Dwayne Johnson. They've got John Cena in there now, but no Dwayne Johnson. Since Dwayne Johnson joined the Fast and Furious franchise, it started making $1 billion each movie. Now, Hobbs & Shaw didn't make the $1 billion, but it got like 800 or something like that, I think it was. 700 to 800 million. So, obviously, we're going to see what the impact of the not having The Rock in this movie is going to be. Because the past few he's been in, and they've crossed $1 billion. So, I think not having him and having John Cena may take away. This franchise, the Fast and Furious franchise, is kind of, to me, it's kind of, I don't know how to put this in words, but it's kind of, maybe it's coming to the end, possibly? I don't know. Because this is the 9th movie in the main one, and then you got Hobbs & Shaw, which is a spin-off. You could also say Tokyo Drift is really a spin-off as well. But is this going to be a $1 billion movie? Look, I'm not going to be surprised if it does, because it is a Fast and Furious movie, and we all go bonkers for these type of movies, just absolutely blockbusters that are just plot hole driven through, just a pure action, mad nonsense crap with cars. We all love that, and we all go see these movies. So I won't be surprised, but I don't think this one, not having The Rock, is going to be a big impact, and I don't think it's going to make $1 billion, but I'm not going to be surprised if it does. Tenet, which is the new Christopher Nolan spy thriller. Look, Christopher Nolan, we know what he is capable of. He doesn't make a bad film, and we've been waiting a long period now for his new movie to come out. This could cross $1 billion just because it's Christopher Nolan. Like, I think because it's Christopher Nolan, it looks phenomenal. We know he makes fantastic movies. He takes his time. He creates these unique concepts for movies and directions for movies that we don't expect, and he delivers them. Now, we saw how big Inception was. This is a sort of like Inception type of movie. Completely different, completely original. This was what makes it so interesting, that I think this could be a potential $1 billion film, but I don't think it's going to get there. I think it's going to get to the $800 million mark, but I won't be surprised if it does get to $1 billion, because it is Christopher Nolan, and he has a track record of making fantastic movies. So, I think there's a possibility, but I wouldn't put money on it. And the final one that I think could potentially, possibly in the Dark Horse range is Dune. Look, Dune has the potential to become a massive franchise like Star Wars, the MCU and stuff like that, if they get this movie right. It's got a stellar cast. If they get this story right, if they get the movie and it's fantastic, I don't see why this wouldn't make $1 billion. But also, I haven't seen any material or anything like that, so I can't just say it's going to make $1 billion. I don't think it will, because it is a new... Well, you have an old one. This is a remake. But I think because it's a new sort of, movie, and it's catering to... It's not like a sequel or in an established universe. It's creating and starting its own. I think it's not going to get to the $1 billion. And that's going to actually... is what's going to keep it. So they're my dark horses. Now we move into which films I think are going to be $1 billion films. Now I'm going to start off with one that I really I expect to make $1 billion. This one I am 98% sure this is going to be $1 billion film. And that's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 84. I mean, we all loved the first Wonder Woman. It made a lot of money. I think it made almost 800 million or something like that. I don't see any reason why, unless the movie is absolutely trash and terrible, why Wonder Woman 84 doesn't make that $1 billion movie mark. Aquaman did it. I think this is now a sequel. We've seen it. We've seen Wonder Woman in the other movies, and in her own movie, Patty Jenkins is directing again. I think she's going to deliver. And I see no reason why Wonder Woman doesn't cross the $1 billion. I think if I could lock in, there's two that I think I am basically almost ready, completely locked in, that are going to make $1 billion. And that one of them is Wonder Woman 84. I think Wonder Woman 84 is going to cross the $1 billion mark. The second one is Venom 2. I think Venom 2 is. I mean, you got Andy Serkis directing now. Carnage is coming in. The fans wanted to see Carnage on screen. We thought we were going to get it in Spider-Man, but we didn't. Now we're going to see Carnage. Look, the first Venom blew everyone out of the water. Like, no one thought the first Venom was going to make over $800 million. And it did. So I think this one is going to be even better than the first one, because you can see what you got back as a reaction from the first Venom. Look, okay, the action was a bit, with the CGI, was a bit, a bit hard to follow. You can fix that in Venom 2 now. Now you've had time, the technology is developed, you put in a bit more money, boom, your return's going to be $1 billion. As long as this movie isn't bad, and I think it's a fun comic book film, as like the first one, but even better, and you add in Carnage, I think it's got all the materials, all the perfect mixes into this particular, movie and mix, like bowl or cereal, whatever you want to call it, to cross that $1 billion mark. So Venom 2 and Wonder Woman 84, I think, are the two locks that you could almost guarantee are going to make $1 billion. I would be very shocked if they get like less than 900 million, but I pretty much am almost guaranteeing that they're going to cross $1 billion. Almost guaranteeing. About 98%. Now the next one, Black Widow. It's an MCU film, so you've got to have it in the debate. Captain Marvel is a perfect example of last year. No, we didn't think. Captain Marvel, first movie being introduced. But it catered to an audience that hadn't been tapped into yet, which was the female audience, the little girls, the mothers, taking their daughters back and forth, getting their friends to come and watch it. It catered to a specific audience that we hadn't seen before. And that's what I thought was the big driving force, getting Captain Marvel over this $1 billion mark. I don't see why Black Widow's an established character. We've seen her and all that. The trailers have looked absolutely fantastic. Why not? I don't see... It's an MCU film, for one. You can't... Like, they average $1 billion a movie. That's their average. So I don't see why you could disregard Black Widow as making being $1 billion movie. I think it's got all the ingredients you need to make $1 billion film. We've got an established character. We've got an established universe that has helped a lot. Kevin Feige's behind it, and his track record is brilliant. So I don't see how we can just throw this to the wind and say Black Widow's not. I think Black Widow will make $1 billion. I do. Even though she's dead in the MCU, I still think people are going to tune in to watch it, especially if there is a Tony Stark cameo, which is being rumoured. So people will just go to watch to see Robert Downey Jr. reprise that role. So I don't know. But I think there is a good high possibility that this movie, Black Widow, makes $1 billion. And the other one is an MCU film, Eternals. Look, again, MCU. Eternals, it's got a stellar cast. Angelina Jolie, Kit Harington, Richard Madden. You're like, you've got, it's just an absolute stellar cast. And this, I think, is going to be a big, epic movie. I think this is going to be the lore behind, a bit more of the MCU lore. We're going to see some big things happen in this film. This is going to change some things in the MCU. And I think people are just so invested in the MCU. Like, people always talk about comic book fatigue and stuff like that. If Black Widow's good, if Wonder Woman's good, if Venom's good, I think people are going to go out and see Eternals. And if the trailers look good and the movie is great, which I'm like, I mean, it's the MCU. Like, I can't doubt the MCU. Can't doubt Kevin Feige. They know what they're doing there. They deliver. Like, they've delivered 2 bad movies. Like, that are still good movies, but they're, compared to the standard they got, they're bad movies, but they're still good movies. And I don't see why they wouldn't do this. I mean, with the Eternals, they've probably had this plan for a long time now, building up to this. So, I just think it's because of how big the MCU is, that people just go out and see it. I don't think there is comic book fatigue. I don't think there will be. And I think people are more interested now to see what happens after Endgame, after everything that's happened, where we're going to go in the MCU. So I think that's going to help it. And I can see Eternals getting to $1 billion as well. Who knows? And the final one is Mulan. Look, this looks absolutely stunning. This looks stunning as. I think Mulan has a real high possibility of making $1 billion. Aladdin made $1 billion. Lion King made $1 billion. And this looks like this could be even better than both of them. This movie doesn't look like your normal remake, like live action remake of the anime. This is going to be completely different. It's going to take elements from the anime, but it's going to be a different type of movie. And this looks like they're going for awards. They're going for an Oscar in this one. But in doing that, I think because of how good this movie looks, and fingers crossed, it is as good as it looks in the trailers, and it is that good, and it is Oscar worthy, and we're talking about it in the Oscars, that's going to get people to come, and people are going to watch, and they're just going to keep coming back, bringing their parents, and I think we're going to see a massive monster of a movie that will make $1 billion. I think Mulan, I will not be shocked if Mulan makes $1 billion. I will not be shocked, because it just has that sort of feeling about this movie that people are going to tune in, because it's so different from the normal live actions that we've seen so far. This is going to be completely different. There is more meanings behind this than the other ones, and I think that's what's going to drive people to go watch this. People aren't going to go, oh, it's another fucking remake. Oh, Disney are just out of ideas. This is going to be completely different, and I'm very excited for this movie. So I think Mulan has a big chance of making the $1 billion club. So there you have it. So let's just recap it. So my outside dark horses, Dune, Tenet, and Fast and Furious 9. They are my outside bets to make the $1 billion club. They are probably the next best out of the next 5 that I think have the best shot of making the $1 billion club. Then you've got who I think Mulan, Eternals, Black Widow all have high chances of making $1 billion. But my 2 guaranteed locked-ins that I think are going to make $1 billion is Venom 2 and Wonder Woman 84. I think they are the most likely. So let me know in the comments, which movies do you think are most likely going to make $1 billion? I'm very intrigued about this, because last year we actually had some rippers make $1 billion that we didn't expect. So I'm very intrigued now to know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Who is going to make $1 billion this year? Is there a movie that I didn't say that you think could cross $1 billion? I'm very intrigued. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, so there's my $1 billion films that I think. So we're going to move on to the next we're going to move on to the next segment here. And we're going to get to it. I'm just going to have a drink. Okay, so the next segment, here we go. We're going to get into some reviews now. So the first review I want to talk about is going to be 1917, which is the movie. It just came out here in Australia and I went and saw it. And let me tell you, I can see why now people have been talking about this movie as one of the best of the year. Because I believe it came out last year in America. But now it's wide released in the world. So, but I can see why people were saying that. And for me personally, if I saw this movie last year, this would be in my top 10 best movies of the year. Possibly in the top 5, if not top 3. It's that good of a movie. Like, it's phenomenal. Look, what makes this movie so good? Like, a way that the director was able to shoot this movie is just absolutely phenomenal. Like, this movie is shot as if it's a one-shot movie. Like, it's just shot in the one time. That's it. No cuts, no nothing. That's what it looks like. And the way he was able to capture the feelings you have when you watch this movie are some feelings when I watch war movies that I never ever had. Like, this movie I felt like I was there with them. Like, that's what this type of movie is. You're following these two people on their journey to get a message across to save across the enemy lines and everything like that to get to these particular company or whatever they're called so that they can save 1,600 people so they don't walk into a trap. And you're going on this journey, you're following them, and the way it is just shot is absolutely phenomenal. Like, it is so phenomenal. Never leave, if you feel like you never leave their side. You feel like you're actually walking with them. And when they rest, you sit there. When they are resting and they're not looking, you feel like you're the eyes. You're looking over the hills, you're looking around, looking for enemies. You're like, okay, yep, no, we're pretty good. There's no one here. Like, you're doing that when they're stopping. There's so much heart in this film. There is emotion. There's everything you want in a war film is in here. You see things behind the enemy lines that you don't see in other movies. This is as realistic as I feel like you could make it. Like, it is just absolutely scary how good this movie was. Like, I think the two actors were just, oh my god, they were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal in this film. This, I can see why it won the Golden Globe. I can see why. I have no problems with it. Because it is that good of a freaking movie. It's that fucking good. Simple as. Like, if you guys haven't seen 1917, do yourselves a favour, go out and watch it. It is an experience. Especially in the big screen. Like, because you have the surround sound, you have the big screen, you're not going to be able to experience that anywhere else. So I highly suggest Whiting Theatres, check it out. Because it is absolutely a mind-blowing experience. So good. And you will be immersed in this film and you will feel like you're there. That's 1917 for me. Like, it is that good of a movie. I can see why people have been saying that, so I highly recommend it. It is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The next movie review I want to talk about, The Gentleman. Look, this is a Guy Ritchie film and it is about gangsters. Basically what it is in England, and to me, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought this was a great way to kick off 2020. I had so much fun with it. It is fun. Charlie Hunnam and what's his name? Hugh Grant. These two are just a joy to watch on screen together. the way that they had that chemistry of back and forth, talking, and that was just... I could sit there for 3 hours, just sit there and just watch them two. In those character roles, just doing that. It was just like, it was just... I can't explain it. Like, it was that good. Them two stole the show. Michael McConaughey, he's just phenomenal now. Like, he is phenomenal. Henry Golding is absolutely fantastic in it as well. The female is great as well. She really brings a presence when she's on screen as well. She's McConaughey's wife. She is a presence on screen as well. She is just good. Colin Farrell. I mean, this guy plays one of the funniest characters you could see. And he is so funny and so good in the role. I absolutely enjoyed his role. Like, this to me, like, I can see some people may not like this film. And some people may find it a bit racist. I can see why. There is some jokes and stuff like that I could see why people would take offense to it and say, look, it's racist and that. But for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastically done. I thought Guy Ritchie did a fantastic job with the story and that. I was immersed in the story. I wanted to know more and more and more and more and to see how it was going to play out. I thought the way that he told the story was a different way to do it rather than how you would normally do it. And I thought, you know what, it worked. I think it worked for this movie. So, for me, I enjoyed The Gentleman. I thought it was quite enjoyable. The performances were absolutely brilliant. Like, they were fantastic. And I recommend seeing The Gentleman. So, for me, I think The Gentleman is a fantastic... that actually hurt. I just scratched myself. Ooh, that hurt. But yeah, I would go see The Gentleman. It's out now in Australia. I don't think it's out yet in America or anything. But, yeah, I recommend seeing The Gentleman. It's a fun... I enjoyed it. It was awesome. And, yeah. So that's The Gentleman. And the final movie review, My Spy, starring Dave Bautista. Look, this isn't going to be in my top 10 best movies of the year or anything like that. Like, it is not like a high-class Oscar contender or anything like that. But you know what this movie is? This is a fun movie. I laughed. I enjoyed it. I thought the chemistry between the kid and Dave Bautista was perfect. That kid is phenomenal in this movie. She is really, really good. Like, she was so good. And I thought the way she bounced off Dave Bautista was so good. I mean, Dave's getting better and better and better each time. That's why I'm really excited to see him in Dune. Because I want to see how he goes in Dune now. I think he's getting better as an actor. I don't know why this movie got pushed. Because it was supposed to come out last year, but then it got pushed to this year. But nevertheless, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought, look, it's a cheesy storyline, but it's funny. And it's funny. Like, there's some cheesy things that you kind of like, yeah, okay, I kind of expected that to happen. And it's that type of movie, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I don't know, I didn't expect it to be like this world beater spy movie. It's a comedy. It's got heart in it. It does have heart in it. Like, between Dave Bautista and the girl, there is a lot of heart between them two, going back and forth, and the relationship, how they build their relationship moving forward, it's really good. Like, yes, okay, this movie has flaws and stuff like that. Like, yes, there are some predictable things in this movie. Yes, there's cheesiness in it. But that's what you're going to get out of this type of movie. And I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed it. Like, it's not going to be my top 10 best movies or anything like that, but it's a fun one. It's like Stuber. It's fun. It's fun. So, but that's My Spy. I mean, I enjoyed it, so, I mean, you guys can check it out if you want. The kids will probably love it. I mean, there was kids in my audience and they loved it. They thought it was hilarious. So, but yeah, I enjoyed My Spy, so, yeah. I can't complain at the moment. So far, 2020 has been pretty good. So, what more can I say? So, yeah, let's move on to the final topic. And the final topic of today's show is going to be about Star Wars. Look, there has been a report that it has been confirmed that the new Star Wars films that are coming out are going to not be like in trilogy format, which I am totally for. Like, yes, just scrap the trilogy format, that's fine by me. But it is going to be in the High Republic era. So it's going to be 400 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. So it's going to be 400s before that in the High Republic. The Rule of Two has already been enforced in Sith. Now, I don't know if that's fully confirmed that that's when it's going to take place. But I can tell you now, look, okay, that's cool and all, but I don't think anyone wants the High Republic right now. I don't think we do. I don't want them to do this. Why? The big reason why is because if they do the High Republic now and they decide they're going to go back and do Knights of the Old Republic and the Bane story and stuff like that, you've got to tie it into this. That's not how it should be. Like, this is going to be the whole problem the prequels had. They had to, when you redo the prequels, they have to lead into Episode 4. So you have to do that. And it sort of like hinders you a bit. Where what I think most people want as well, let's just either start it right at the start. The original, the first Jedi, the first Sith, how it all began. Start there, because that is absolutely miles in the past, that you don't have to lead it into anything at this point in time. I think that's when we should do it. That's how it should be established to start off with. Or, let's just do the Knights of the Old Republic. Everyone wants to see the Knights of the Old Republic. Everyone wants to see the freaking Sith army and the Jedi army fighting. That's all we want to see. We want to see that. I want to see Darth Malgus. I want to see that storyline played out. I want to see the Revan story played out. I want Malak. I want Darth Malak played out as well. I want to see us then move in from that era to Bane, to Darth Bane. I want to see what triggers, like granted, I'm in the middle of the books of the Bane and that, but I want to see that on screen. I want to see Bane, the way he develops the Rule of Two, how he does all that. Then we do the High Republic era. Then we've led into that, we do the High Republic era, and then you have a period where you don't even touch. Before the Phantom Menace, and between there, you don't touch that period, because otherwise you're going to have prequel problems. But you do all that, you tell all that lore, why the Sith abandoned what they did, and Darth Bane decided to make the Rule of Two. I want to see the Siths. I want to see a Sith Council. I want to see them, because in the Revan books, it is so good. Like, you hear how they have the Dark Council and everything like that. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. I want to see them go, you know what? We are taking our Sith army, all our Sith and Dark Lords. We are going to fight the Jedi. We want to see that. That's what we want to see. If we are going to do this High Republic era, like, we're not going to see that. Are we, like, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure in the Phantom Menace, they had no idea the Sith was still alive. They thought they were extinct, I believe. I'm pretty sure that, I'm almost certain that that was said, that they didn't believe the Sith were dead. So, Yoda was, so this is like, Yoda's like, what, 800, 900 or something like that. So he would be 400 at this point in time. Like, so you take 400, so it'd be 500, 400, whatever, around that age. So he'll be a young Jedi Knight or Padawan, whatever, then. But Yoda, so we're never going to, so in this period, are we going to even see the Sith and the Jedi fight? Like, is that going to be possible? Because the Rule 2's been made, so obviously they would know about Darth Bane and that, the Jedi would, but him coming out the Rule 2, but see, that's the problem, because then how are you going to explain it? Are you going to explain why the Rule of Two was in place? Because if you do, then you can't tell the Darth Bane story, because then you've got to make the Darth Bane story line, like, incorporate with the High Republic. So it hinders you doing that as well, because you've already told the story here, but you don't want to break continuity. That's the problem we're going to have, and that's the problem that most people have the prequels and the sequel ones, because there's sort of continuity going on here. Like, things that just don't add up and crap like that. Why would we do this? Like, I hope it's not true. I hope it's not confirmed that we're doing the High Republic. I want the Old Republic. I want the Knights of the Old Republic. I want the Revan storyline. I want the Darth Malak storyline. That's the stories I want to tell. Going into Darth Bane. That is ultimately what I want to see in a Star Wars film. Most people that I've read on comments about these things want to see that as well. They want to see Sith army versus the Jedi army. We want lightsabers. That's what we want. We want Force users versus Force users. That's what we want. That is ultimately what Star Wars fans want. We don't want to see the High Republic era at this point in time. Like, I mean, the biggest thing that I think that will hurt it is if they do this High Republic one and they just do it to have the sake of Yoda. That, like, just to pull on nostalgia. Like, no. If you're going to do a Yoda, if you're going to do this, do a Yoda movie by itself. Or a TV series by itself. Do that. Don't do this. Like, this is the problem that I have at the moment with it. Look, okay, so we've done the Skywalker saga. That's done. Cool. That's done and dusted. Now let's go and tell the past. The original, how it all began, where it led to. Let's do those storylines into Revan, into Darth Bane, to the Rule of Two, how he established it. Boom, done. Then you leave that period, the High Republic period, whatever it's called, you leave that alone. You don't touch it. You leave it alone. Then you go into the future. You go 100, 200 years, whatever, after the events of Rise of Skywalker. And we have the new Jedi, the new Sith Order, whatever you want to call them, and you build from there. And you build the future on. I think that's the way to do it. We don't need to retell stories of old characters. I think that's done now. I think that's done. I don't want to see young Palpatine. I don't want to see a young Yoda. I don't want to see any of those characters anymore. It's over. Like, it's done. That Skywalker saga and those characters should be done. They're done. Look, cool. Yeah, if you want to do a spin-off TV series like the Kenobi series, cool. That's cool. There's a period there that I'm interested in. Darth Maul, cool. I would love to hear a TV series of Darth Maul. How he became a Sith Lord. That's cool. I would love to see that. That's interesting to me. But I don't want to see a movie that leads into that you just have for the sake of pulling nostalgia strings. You either start right at the start, and you tell the Revan and all that, they're the characters we want to see. They're the characters everyone wants to see. We want to see the Sith and Jedi battle. That's what we want to see. Or we go into the future and we start telling new stories. That's it. That's all I got. Let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts on this? Do you want to see the original Jedi, Sith? Do you want to see that era, the Old Republic era? The Jedis versus the Siths, the Revan storyline, the Darth Malak storyline, Darth Malgus storylines, the Bane storyline, how the Rule 2 was established, why? Do you want to see all that? Or do you want to see us go straight into the future? Just don't even worry about the past, just go straight into the future, start new stories, fresh. Now we're moving forward. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts, or do you want to see High Republic? Are you interested in that era? I don't know too much about High Republic, but I don't see how we're going to see Sith and Jedi fight. That's the only problem, and that's mainly what we want to see out of a Star Wars film. So let me know in the comments, and yeah, so thank you for tuning into the Filmverse show. This has been episode 2. Thank you for again, well, I've just said that. I don't know why I said that again, but yeah. So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on the movies that I reviewed? Did you love them? Did you hate them? I would love to hear everyone's thoughts. Thoughts on Star Wars, the $1 billion movies as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video of the Filmverse show, episode 3. So look out for that. And yeah, peace out.